Alright, I'm going to try to make a video. Now, this is YouTube stuff, so I hope I get away with it. This is going to explain
You unlock this door with
what
the
I'm going
key
to
of
do,
imagination.
talk about.
Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound.
Yep, that's right, Rod.
A dimension of sight.
Yep, but not with
A
your
dimension
eyes.
of mind.
Yep.
You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the
The duck-light zone. Say again,
with it,
is it Bob?
you know, long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand
Yeah?
What was your bargain?
to get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And in this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
You gotta be kidding me, Bob. Hey, Michael, what do you think about all this happening today?
Really tired of the manipulation. I'm tired of how the press is manipulating everything that's been happening in this situation. They do not tell the truth. They're liars.
What else, Mike? What else is going on?
They manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie.
No fucking kidding. I can't believe it, man. Almost too much to be true. Now, I'm going to start a series of... I'm going to talk about other dimensions, other places that exist here, right in front of us. But we have been conditioned not to see these things. I'm going to start this on as fast as I can because I only have 15 minutes. I want to make this fast. I will talk about a lot of stuff. People don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about because it happens to me all the time. But if you can bear with me, if you want to do some research, if you want to follow this, you might learn something. I figure it's my job here at this time of history. I will just do a few observations and report on the observations that I make. And here's an observation that I made recently. Now I'm going to start with a little story from the from Germany. It's the Brothers Grimm, Rumpelstiltskins. And Rumpelstiltskin, to make a quick synopsis, is just a story of a man giving his daughter to the king and promised because he wants a audience with the king for some reason or another. And he says, I have a daughter. In order to get an audience with the king, of course, you got to have some great deal to exchange for this audience. And he tells her he has a daughter that can weave gold out of a straw with one of those weaving loom things, spinning wheel loop, things. And so he gets the audience, and he takes his daughter to the king. The king puts her in a room and tells her to spin it's got straw in the room and a spinning wheel, and he tells her to spin straw into gold. And of course she can't do it. She's crying, and she's appears magically as this little gnome imp-like little dill thing. This guy comes through a doorway, it says in the story, but it's really a portal. Comes through the portal and says, well, what can you do for me if I do this for you? And they make a deal. She gives him a bracelet the first day, a ring the second day, and the third day she has nothing left. And this is the day that the king tells her, if you don't spin the gold, you're going to die, right? And the third day he tells her, well, if you don't spin the gold, I'll kill you. But if you do spin the gold, this day, and he has a room full of fucking straw the size of a silo, he says, I'll marry you. So the little guy comes, and she has nothing else to offer personally, so she offers her firstborn. Okay, you got your child sacrifice there. So she's living her life, and she has a baby, and he comes to collect the baby, of course, and she pleads with her not to, and he goes, well, if you can guess my name, then I won't take the baby, but it's not that easy. But this is the watered down story. And of course she goes out to the woods and finds his house and hears him dancing around the fire because he sings Rumpelstiltskins. They always talk in riddles. Everything's riddles. And he's doing riddles. And one day he mentions his name while he's dancing around the fire doing these riddles. And she guesses his name, and she lives happily ever after, and he flies out the window. But if you go back, this story goes back some 4,000 years, and even before then. In the true story, that goes back a little bit further, not a lot further, a little bit further than this. This is 1857 edition. But he takes the child, and he dances around the fire for 3 nights, but every night he gives a syllable of his name. instead of giving the whole name, and she never guesses it. So she has to give up the child. He takes the child, and then she goes back to the king to tell the king what happened, and the king then executes her. And the moral of the story in those days were supposed to be, don't make a deal with these devils. But in the truth is, the king had many rooms with these girls, with many weaves and rooms full of straw and whatever, and with promises that they can make gold out of straw. And this devil was just having child sacrifice all the time. It was the same story over and over and over, and the king was in on it. Okay, that makes any sense at all. Now, Rumpelstiltskin, you say, it's just a child's story. That's bullshit. Well, Rumpelstiltskin in German, means literally little rattleschild. A schild is a pole or post which provides support for a structure. A Rumpelstiltsk is the name of a type of goblin, also a popat or popiart, that makes noises by rattling posts and rapping on planks. And the Rumpelsgeist, or little ghost, or poltergeist, a mischievous spirit that clatters and moves household objects. So they have known about these poltergeists, these ghosts, these making deals with the devil for a long, long fucking time. Not the devil, but these demons, these lesser demons. And the reason I brought this story up is because it always follows the same. This story is 4,000 years old, but it always follows the same course. You make a deal, you got to give something up, and then eventually you have to sacrifice another human being, because that's what these things want. They want human sacrifice. Now we're going to go into wars, and we're going to go into all types of human sacrifice that's happening right now. And I hope I made this clear, because I don't want to do this damn video twice. Rumpelstiltskins. Now this is a Ouija board. Now, the reason I bring the Ouija board up is it's the most common way to bring these lesser spirits up from wherever the fuck they come from, or to bring them out of these more powerful spirits. They might be like cells. They split, and stuff comes off of them. I don't know. But I recently had a friend that had a neighbor rather, that had their child had died. He was not a child. He was in his 20s, and he overdosed on heroin, but it was laced with fentanyl. Now, he was into this stuff here for a long time, and I remember my friend telling me about her neighbor, that she would go over there, and she said that objects were always moving around the house, and stuff would come up missing, and doors were slamming all night long, and nobody could explain it, and there'd be nobody home, and they'd come home and all the drawers would be open and stuff spilled out. And my friend told her to get rid of the Ouija board because he was really into it. The kid had a lot of friends. They'd have seances all night long, and they were probably doing drugs at the same time, doing all this crazy shit with these boards. And she got rid of the board. They'd come back. But my friend also said that she would go in the house and she would have all kinds of statues that she had collected through the years of all these goblins and demons and all these deities that were basically statues of these deities and old gods from way back in Babylon in earlier days, and they were just replications, but they were made out of crystal and pewter and things, and dragons and things like that, and all over the house. And she said, get rid of those too. That just sort of makes these things feel at home. Once they're invaded your space. And this does happen. They do invade your space. Look, these Ouija boards go back for hundreds and hundreds of years. This is not something new. This is something that's been going on for a very long time. And for a very long time, they've been calling these demons, these lesser demons, up out of these, wherever they're coming from. And now they're basically populating the earth. And it's part of the insanity thing. It's part of the insanity thing. You cannot believe this if you want. It's up to you. I have first-hand knowledge. I can't help it. To me, this is just something I've always known about. It's just something that I grew up with, like the way you can smell coffee in the morning. It's just something I've always known about. Now, I know that my neighbor told me, she said that like 3 o'clock in the morning, she heard all this pounding from her neighbor's house, pounding. She thought it was gunshots at first. And she learned later it was the husband was nailing, he was nailing stuff in the middle of the night. She went over there kind of snooping around to see what was going on. He had nailed the doors open, or some doors shut. And some doors open. He had nailed the furniture to the floor. He had nailed, what else was it? The furniture to the floor, the doors open and shut. He had wrapped like duct tape around the plants and shit, so nothing could move, because I guess things were just flying through the house like crazy. Well, she didn't say that. She said that the wife was very, very distressed. The dog would sit in the corner, wouldn't move. and the husband had not been sleeping. He stays up all night on the couch, but shit wasn't moving, so he nailed it to the floor, which is very odd. You fucking nail, shit to the floor, and it's still like this. And so my friend told her, look, you got to call maybe a Catholic priest or something. They sort of specialize in this sort of thing, and they can kind of guide you through it. I don't know what's happened so far with it, but this is very common. You'd be surprised how much this is going on right now, all over the place. My personal story is, well, last night I had a dream. It wasn't really a dream. I woke up, and I see these things flying all around me, right? This is nothing new to me. And there was one time when I would wake up in the middle of the night, sorry, stumbling over my words, and I would be frozen. I couldn't move. And I know people out there have felt the same or experienced this same sensation, that you wake up, you can't move, you feel like you're frozen. No matter, I don't care if you're 250-pound solid muscle or you're a little 105-pound, woman, it doesn't matter. You can't move, you can't kick, you can't move. It's like something's strapping you down, and you can feel a presence around you, but you can't do anything about it, and you become very frightened. A lot of people experience this, and especially this time. A lot of people are experiencing this. I can't say it for sure, but my guess, a lot of fucking people are. This veil is becoming more transparent. That's what's happening. And because there's so much of this stuff going on now. It's everywhere. It's in government. It's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. But my dream, they're flying around the room, and I open my eyes. As I'm not dreaming, I'm open my eyes, and there's a head right in front of me, one of those demon heads, and he popped up, trying to scare me, which I'm not scared anymore, and I can move perfectly fine. I bopped him on top of the head, automatically. Didn't even think about it. And it was like those prairie dogs at the amusement park. You bop them with the hammer when they pop up. That's what I did. But at one time, it would have frozen me if the entity would have appeared in my room, even these lesser entities. And but now, if I'll tell you the secret to this too. I can tell you the secret, maybe not today because I only have 15 minutes. But so I bopped him on the head, and at that point, they kind of realized that, hey, this guy, he's not under our power. He's got something else inside him that's more powerful than us. So they split. But I turn over because I still felt a presence. And there was fucking, I got to tell you, this is the truth. God honest truth. Happened last night. Hillary Clinton laying right next to me. Now, this is not sexual by no means. And I looked and I thought to myself, yeah, no wonder. No wonder all these spirits are here, these evil spirits, because she's here. Which it wasn't Hillary Clinton, of course. It had taken that form. It was a more powerful demon, probably, I guess. I don't know. And I just looked at it, and I don't remember too much after that, because after that, you sort of have, let's call them bodyguards. Once you have this thing inside you, you have sort of these bodyguards that are always here with you, just in case you need them. And of course, I feel no fear now at all, none. This isn't something that happened recently. It's been years now. I've learned to deal with this, and I'm kind of gonna want to share it with other people, so you can also learn how to use this power that's inside you, if you want it to be. Okay. But my friend's neighbor is still having lots of problems. I know that. Lots of problems with this shit. And my friend doesn't know what to do about it. I don't want to get involved, so I'm going to let you know that this is going on a lot. But anyway, the Hillary Clinton spirit laying next to me sort of just dissipated. And probably because I had a bodyguard or a protector behind me that kind of spoke for me. Now, a lot of people will say, I'd say this and I'd do this. You don't converse with these things. I learned that over the years. You don't say anything. You don't have to say anything. It's not for you to say things. But if they come and they try to bother you, you can definitely shoo them away like a fly. Because the power is inside you, if you want it to be. And history lies, Michael. Yep, they want you to believe anything. They want you to believe everything that they say. This will be my first video. Hopefully this is audible and you can understand me, and stick with me, because I'm going to explain how these ghosts, these apparitions that are appearing all over, and many of our politicians are actually talking to these people. And I'm going to go over Trump, the presidency, which is just, I'm not political at all, and I don't give a fuck who's in office, because I got to tell you, the same thing's going to happen no matter what. We are on a runaway freight train with no fucking brakes, going downhill. And you can believe that the press, you can believe anything you want. You can say, you can repeat everything you hear all you want, but it's all lies. And we have to understand the truth is out there for those who want to find it. Now I'm going to make another video today. This was sort of my opening video. I want to establish the grounds that, look, there's something going on out there that is not, it is beyond the scope of what we understand fully, only because that understanding has been slowly siphoned out of our soul to where we don't even recognize it anymore, and we're being conditioned for the slaughter. So what I want to say is, what's going to happen, I'd like to let you know about the conditioning and how you can stop it, and how you can have power in this other dimension that seems to be trying to control the whole world right now. Okay, duck out. I'll see how this sounds.